Okay, we just finished weeding the 2 rows of potatoes, and what we're going to do is till down the inside and outside of the potato row, and then we're going to hill up the potatoes, put a little more dirt in around them, cover up some of the small weeds, and make sure that the potatoes that are growing on top of the soil don't turn green, and cover them up. Testing, 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 testing. Testing, testing, testing. Okay, we have both ears. Jerry just helped me. He just left and we were on our hands and knees and weeded. We pulled out some purslane, some pigweed, ragweed, Canadian thistle, some dandelions, some raspberry roots that may have been, because this trellis here was a Caroline raspberry until 2 or 3 years ago. We took those out, so some of those may still be coming up. But what I'm going to do now is pull some. I have a shovel for my tiller, but it's a lot of work to get to push deep enough to get the dirt to come up high enough. And with a hoe, I can work the dirt in around exactly where I want this dirt to go inside the tomato plants, and so it's easy enough. It just takes a few minutes to go from one row to the next, down both sides. Help these plants stand up a little better and cover up the baby weeds in the center. And as I mentioned before, the main reason is to cover up any any potatoes that may be near the surface in the future. Just adds that much more dirt to make sure that those upper tomatoes don't see daylight or they'll turn green and they don't taste very good. The plants down on this end sure look healthy. That's nice. And we'll go down this side. I saw some grass. Not much bindweed coming up. A little bit of this morning glory, same thing. You see a little bit of it, but not too much yet. Soil, there's one right there. Bindweed. The soil temperature must not quite be warm enough to get them to come right up through the plants. And I haven't seen any goat head. There's a dandelion or milkweed. I haven't seen any goat head puncture vine coming up yet. I give it just enough throw that the dirt goes all the way around the plant. And lands on the drip tape in the middle, which helps cover up some of the little weeds up in the center. You don't want to cover up the potatoes though. If I had a tractor, I'd back it up and do it right. You can see from some of our previous information that we had a tractor, we even had a potato harvester. We decided that our property was kind of small to own a tractor for being able to afford everything, you know, and sold the tractor. And then the potato harvester sat across here in the raspberries for a couple of years before we finally let it go. A 1940s John Deere one-row potato harvester. Did a mighty fine job of pulling out potatoes. They didn't bag them. They didn't conveyor them into a truck or anything. They just pulled them out of the ground and laid them back behind the harvester on the top of the row though. And we use that same harvester for pulling out carrots and for pulling out canna lily roots out there in our flower beds. A tractor would be really nice to have, but we have priorities, and that's still not one of them till we get a few other things taken care of. All right, that side's done. Now I did that side here, and I'm gonna do the center here on this row. And pull those up around it. Try not to cover up the little tiny plants. Some of these plants still aren't very big. Then I think when I get done hilling, I'll rake this section, pull that plastic back down, get this smoothed out, and then pull some carpet in here to keep the weeds down. So I noticed there were a couple of people asking about using carpet in the garden. And one guy says, oh yeah, no, carpet, that he was worried that the carpet was gassing chemicals into the soil. Another lady's worried about chemicals leaching into the soil. I don't know about any of that. What I do know is that when I get the carpet in the first place, it's 30 or 40 years old. There's not much gas left in it to gas off. And it does an amazing job. First of all, it's free. And it keeps the weeds down. It works year after year after year. It's sturdy. It doesn't puncture holes like thin plastic products. But I've been doing enough research to wonder if I shouldn't maybe switch over to a greenhouse floor barrier mulch. I just haven't found the right product yet. Another pigweed, red root pigweed. I'll find something a little bit more permanent that we can use, because the carpet does wear out. It starts getting stringy and falls apart. And I feel like I need to get new carpet, and then you have to dispose of it. So at least we used it for 10 years before it ended up in the landfill. Some of that carpet would probably compost right back down to dirt. Okay, grab a rake. Oh no, where's the rake? Where's the rake? No, no, oh, crap. box. Smooth this out so it's not full of holes when we lay the carpet down. Of course. I don't anticipate having to hill up the potatoes again. That should be plenty for the season. Potatoes have a lifespan. It's the 1st of June, so they have June and July to fill out their fruit in August. And then in September, the plants start to die back, telling you that they're mature. And the skin on the fruit starts to thicken and ready itself for storage. It's pretty early in the season now. We're just barely starting to see some blossoms starting to show up. And the potatoes themselves are only a ½ inch, little tiny ½ inch and ¼ inch potatoes. Here's an example. You can see the potato in my glove. Even though they haven't bloomed yet, they're still starting to form potatoes, and they're just really cute. Okay, we're right there. Nice. We pulled the plastic right off of some of these little tiny strawberry plants. Get him back in there. That looks better. Here's another one. Be careful not to pull them up so much. Okay, found a piece to go in this far. Get us started. Like that. Okay, we'll continue putting carpet down the row and get all of that covered up so the weeds don't come up between the rows. And that gives us carpet to kneel on for picking on this side of the strawberries.